it's possibly too late for our generation, but the education of the younger generation is going to be key to shark survival into the future.
OCEARCH is educating kids.
I believe any form of education that is pro-shark and is teaching people to appreciate where sharks are in the ecosystem is a great thing and is a positive thing.
You got some work to do before you're a politician with your poker face.
Never want to be a politician.
Did you see where they're having little girls practice drilling holes in dorsal fins?
Have they? I haven't seen that one. No, haven't seen that one.
They're basically television cowboys.
Oh, they are. But we'll get.
It's a really interesting subject though, because whilst there is controversy surrounding their methods, they are reaching the masses.
Is that worth it? Because you can slap building awareness on almost anything. I'm not going to go out and beat up kids to raise awareness on child abuse.
No. But similarly, what's your take on having white sharks in captivity the way that they have at Monterey Bay?
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No.
But what about the fact that in that period of time that they had that shark in captivity, and then they released it, that they had an extra 3 million people to the aquarium in that time who they were able to educate and able to reach with a conservation message?
Tell me what I went.
Did you?
So what do you think the education aspect was?
See, I don't know that. This is where, if you're going to do, in this case they didn't sacrifice an animal, but if you're going to have a compromised possibly environment for an animal in order to show it to the public, then that has to be coupled with a really strong education program to make sure that the trade-off is...
I didn't receive one.
No, well, maybe you didn't.
And yeah, I mean, this is just my feelings, so feel free to prove me wrong. But the flaws that I see in it are that's 3 million people that came because they were interested in white sharks. So that wasn't their discovery. And when I observed the white shark in the tank, it was agitated and swimming quickly. Clearly didn't want to be there. That is a much worse impression than I got when I witnessed a white shark in the wild, when it was this just gorgeous creature gliding by without even wagging its tail. Now, and I didn't learn anything more about it. It's next.
But you were already very knowledgeable about white sharks.
Right.
And you are one of the relatively few lucky people who have encountered white sharks in the wild.
Am I lucky, or did I just make it a priority?
You might have made it a priority, but for those, say, for the sake of argument, 3 million extra people who got to see a white shark in the flesh, the proportion of those people who would either have the funds or the time, just the ability to go and see white sharks in the wild.
Can't I apply that same argument to orcas?
Yes.
So you
I
think
know
it's worth
I
it?
don't. And I'm playing devil's advocate here. I'm not saying that I do agree with sharks in captivity, but in a broad sense, I understand the value of animals in captivity for the sake of education, when those two things go hand in hand to create a strong program that gets the message across.